Did John have children?
No.
No. Did he have dogs?
Yes.
Yes. He didn't have children, but he had dogs. So how did he treat his dogs? As if they were his children. In fact, they weren't his children because they weren't human, but he treated them as well as he would treat his own children. Have you ever seen humans treating their pets as if they were children?
Yes.
You have, haven't you? What have you seen? Carrying them and feeding them and taking them to the restaurant and putting them up and feeding them. Have you seen that? Dressing them in. Take the dogs to the doctor for their shots and yeah, okay. Giving them nice food, letting them sleep in their bed. Giving them a bath. Yeah, we don't say take a bath for somebody. Taking a bath is something you do yourself, but giving something or someone a bath. Yeah, giving the dog a bath. Cut their nails, comb their hair. Yes, okay. Okay, so maybe he didn't do all of those things, but he did some of those things. So what else did he do besides those things? Played with the dogs. Okay, so he didn't treat the dogs just as work animals, but he actually played with them and made them feel good, right? So what else did he do besides playing? Laughed with them, okay, and what else? Talk to them, right? Have you seen your dog, your friends talk to their dogs?
Yes.
Of course. Do you anybody have dogs? Raise your hand if you have a dog. Do you talk to your dogs? Yes. What language does your dog speak?
Chinese.
Chinese, okay. So your dog speaks or understands Chinese?
Yeah.
Speaks or understands?
Understand.
Understands, okay, right. All right. So, of course, if you have a pet and you want your pet to be friendly, then you'll do all of these things like talk to your dog, play with your dog. And so one of the ways of playing is to play kind of like roughly, right? You can just shake the dog. Even with children we do that. We throw them up in the air and then we catch them and then we shake them back and forth and then we laugh and yeah. And then you kiss them and hug them, right? Okay. So how did Buck feel about this? How did he react to it?
Happy.
He felt very happy? Okay, right. And what about he felt in love with John Thornton, yes? And what did you just say about his heart? Yeah, what about his heart? His heart? His heart, what about his heart? Beats fast? Okay. So what happened? When does your heart beat fast? When you're running? Okay, but he's not running. So what else? What other case? When his master is shaking him back and forth? Okay.
When you're excited.
When you feel very happy, when you feel very excited, right. So when you feel very happy and excited, doesn't your heart beat faster? Okay, so it beat so fast that it felt like it would shake him out of his body. So the owner was going like this, and for him it was a lot of fun. It was exciting. Now, of course, his heart did not shake out of his body, but it felt that way, right? He would shake Buck back and forth, and it seemed that his heart would be shaken out of his body. Seemed is not the same as for real, right? Yeah, so it seemed to the dog that his heart would be jumping out. And what did he do with his mouth? Laughed. Okay, right. So what is a laugh? What causes a laugh? When do you laugh? When you're happy? Okay, when something's funny? Okay, so then that means that the dog must feel happy and excited and very positive, all right? Usually when you laugh, in English, you make a sound. You say ha, 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 but how about the dog? Do you think the dog actually made sound like that? No. Maybe not because okay, so when dogs get happy, do they bark? Will they do that? Bark! Yeah, they might do that, okay? So that might be a kind of a laugh. Now, another thing that the dog did was something about, what about vibrating? What vibrated? What vibrated? His throat. His throat vibrated. It vibrated. Okay, why did his throat vibrate?
Like you want to speak?
Like he wanted to speak. Right, okay. So when your throat vibrates, you know, when our throats, as human throats, we can make our throats vibrate. But how about when animals, when their throat vibrates, how does it sound? More like that, right? I mean, I'm not a good dog, but something more like that, right? So if the dog is vibrating the throat, and when does that happen? When does it happen? In what case does a dog make that kind of a sound?
When they're happy or when they're upset.
Okay, sometimes when they're happy and sometimes when they're upset. Yeah, depending on, don't touch my food, that's mine. Might be, right? But here we mix it together with laughed, right? His mouth laughed. What did they say about his eyes? Sparkled. When do your eyes sparkle? When you're tired? When
Are you excited?
you're excited? Okay, right. So when we say somebody's eyes sparkle, it must mean that they're very delighted. They're in a joyful mood, right? Your eyes don't sparkle when you're tired, right? Because when you're tired, your eyes will feel dull. You know, it's not shiny. Sparkling is something, you know, reflecting, and your eyes have to be open in order for your eyes to sparkle, right? When you're tired, how are your eyes? And then if your eyes are sparkling, we won't even know it. Yeah, so when we say your eyes are sparkling, that means your eyes are open wide and that you have some spirit, right? You're spirited, you're happy about it, you're excited, right? This shows some sort of an excitement. Okay, so how did John Thornton compare to the other men who were also transporting cargo, who also had dogs with sleds? How did he compare with those other guys? He's good, master. Okay. He was better.
He is only as a beauty.
Okay, so the other men looked after their dogs or took care of their dogs only as if their duty. There's their business, okay? It's my duty to feed the dog and to give the dog a place to sleep, and the dog is for my business. So it sounds like there's no emotion, right? There's no attachment. They're not bonded together the way John is with his dog. So there's a difference. Do you know the word bond? What does it mean? Bond, B-O-N-D, and bonding, bonded. What does it mean? Feel together, feel close together, right? Okay. B-O-N-D, bond, bonded, bonding. So bond has two meanings. One means to stick together, and the other meaning in terms of emotional bonding means you feel very close with each other. You feel very close with each other. So the dog enjoyed it, and John enjoyed it. They enjoyed each other's company. They enjoyed playing with each other, talking with each other, and doing things. Now, when John Thornton called him names, do you think the dog understood English? So what does a dog listen to? I mean, does your dog understand Chinese as the language? Does your dog understand Spanish as a language? What do they listen to?
To the voice, the sound,
The sound of the voice, okay.
the expression.
The expression in the voice, right. So the dog's probably listening to the expression in the voice and the intonation patterns in the voice. And that kind of language really tells a lot. And it doesn't matter whether you're speaking bad words or good words. So he may be calling the dog, you stupid, dirty dog. You stupid, dirty dog. Right? So with the kind of facial expression, the kind of intonation, the kind of gestures that are positive, it doesn't matter because that's all the dog could see, and the dog thought, oh, those are love names. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so I want you to be sure when you're speaking with people, you pay attention not only to pronunciation itself. Did I say cat or cot correctly? Because, you know, in face-to-face communication, it's so important what your face looks like, your facial expression, what your body looks like, your gestures, and the tone of your voice. Because if you say something in a really nice tone of voice, even though the words are not as positive, it sounds more positive. And on the other hand, even if your idea is very good, your words are very positive, but you say them in a tone of voice that's very difficult to understand or very harsh, not good to listen to, people will react to that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so do you know what I mean? Are there people's voice, you know some people who you enjoy listening to their voice? And other people you don't really like to listen to their voice? Are there any people that you know? You like to listen to this person, but you don't like to listen to that person? Do you know some people like that? Because maybe it's the sound of their voice, the way the melody comes out like music to your ears, and you enjoy listening. And you'll listen to anything that they say. So part of what you want to do, you know, in your overall communication, as I said, is not just the technical stuff, but kind of all of the emotional and expressiveness that you can put into your language. And for animals, like dogs, they will hear that part, and they don't mind if you're calling them bad names, if you say it in a lovely way. So next time you're mad at your neighbor and you want to yell at them in your language because they don't understand your language, you can yell at them with bad words but smile. They won't even know the difference if they think you're being so friendly. Okay.